All right, very quick little intro video here because there's not much new in this section that wasn't in the previous sections. What's going to happen here is we're going to have complicated shapes, not like complicated meaning weird, just complicated meaning two things put together. So the couple pieces of advice here that are new is that the starred thing here, before you start the problem, figure out what kind of shapes you have and what's going to have to happen. Are you going to add them or subtract them? So just a couple real quick examples here. If you had, say, a hemisphere that then had a cone on top of it, you would need to do the cone plus the hemisphere. If you had, I don't know, let's say if you had a prism and that prism had a hole drilled right through the middle of it, so it had a hole. This is not the best picture you've ever seen probably, but it had a hole drilled right through the middle of it. You would have the prism, and you would have the hole that's clearly shaped as a cylinder, but you wouldn't be putting them together, you'd be subtracting them. So it'd be the prism minus the cylinder. So that's the basic idea of what could happen with any of these things that have two different shapes involved in them. Just things that I need you guys to remember before you're doing any of these problems is, number one, we got to check the units. Every single time. The most important thing in any volume area question, anything that has units, is to make sure they're the same and make sure they're the right way that the answer wants them to be. So make sure you check the units. And then another continual thing that we talk about throughout this kind of a unit is this sentence right here. All right, any formula that has a B in it, that stands for area of the base. Remember that, okay? Area of the base, because you don't just put in one number. Any area of the base always needs two dimensions. So it needs a length and a width, or a base and a height, or something like that, so that you don't miss a dimension when you're in there. So look out for those few things, try a few of these problems, and then see what happens with the Schoology quiz.